So people are here upset about what's going around with the Tylenol and the vaccine situation. I feel like we living in one of the dumbest and most stupidest mother effing generations. I swear. I thought we was the smartest, but I think we have become the dumbest, right? Because it's all about the messenger, right? That's all it is. You're not paying attention to the message. You're paying attention to the messenger because you're in your feelings. If you are a parent of a child that is on the spectrum, you should be rooting. Why? Because this is becoming an aware thing. It's an awareness. This administration is spreading awareness on health. It's never been done. Health haven't been a priority in any administration. Not with Obama, not with Bush, like none of them. Not with Biden, especially with Biden. So let's be grateful that this autism stuff is headlines. It's being spread. It's bringing more awareness, right? Your excuse might be when they bring up the studies that back in the days it was less than 1 in 10,000 or less than 100,000, whatever it is. Your argument is that we do better studies now, which is, I can definitely agree to that. But can we also agree that the better study also say that these are the links? This is the trigger point. This is what's spiking the situation. So you really think that it's Donald Trump in a laboratory right now in the lab just, yeah, it's Tylenol. It's not him. Because you're too focused and too worried about the messenger and not the message. So you think it's him coming up with the studies. It's him and Robert Kennedy just heading back of the Oval like, hey, come on, let's get our caps and gowns type shit. No, this is being studied in Harvard and different places. There's scientists looking into this. Deep investigation. Because they want to bring things out to the light. And we always focus on the wrong thing. We're focusing on the messenger and not the message. I don't give a damn who's the president. If you're prioritizing health, that means something to me. We are basically one of the richest nations in the world, but we also the sickest. That doesn't add up. That doesn't make sense. We are also dealing that, over 100 ingredients that is approved here in the United States. In different country, it's not approved. There's something wrong with that as a red flag. So they already, little by little, right, they are removing dyes, they're removing this, they're removing that from products here in the United States to make things better, but you're still worried about the messenger and not the message. So basically, I kid you not, if it would have been like Biden or Obama or one of those two or even Clinton speaking about this, y'all still feel some type of way, which is dumb. Like, you're not even paying attention to what is being said. There's links, environmental. Autism is genetic. Okay, so it's 100% genetic. So how come this is the first time I come across where autism in my family, if it's genetics? How come I played basically what we say a Russian roulette? Cairo got vaccinated. Ramsey haven't been vaccinated. How come, if it's genetics, how come Ramsey is not on the spectrum? If it's genetics, if it comes from the father's bloodline, according to some of y'all influencers. How come? These kids, they were back to back. They're a year and a half apart from one another. And I'm Cairo's dad. And Cairo before, I'm gonna say it again. Cairo before the MMR vaccine was saying words. He was waving, saying hi, bye, dancing, smiling. After the MMR vaccine, once he made it to 18 months, Cairo completely regressed. By the time he was 2, he was basically diagnosed with autism, level 3. His brain is processing things at the age of a 3-month baby. But you're worried about the messenger, not the message, right? So as the scheduled vaccine started being added, the rise of autism and all other complications have gone up too. When people say like, man, growing up, I barely seen cancer. Growing up, we barely dealt with diabetes. So what changed? Something is spiking and triggering these illnesses and diseases. Something is doing that. Because back in the days, people be like, cancer, that was something new to somebody, cancer. You got kids at the age of 6, 7 dealing with diabetes. You have kids with cancer. And that's all being passed down from what? The parents. And then you have folks out here saying, my child never been vaccinated and I ate healthy. What is healthy? Because what do you consider healthy? Because you ask the average American what is healthy, most of them don't even know. And also, healthy is coming from a point of view. Because you could be in a carnivore diet. I could be, for example, I could be a pescatarian, vegetarian, plant-based, whatever. And you could say you eating healthy, and I could say I'm eating healthy. And when we look at each other, you saying, oh, you unhealthy, and I'm saying you unhealthy. So when it comes to health, what exactly do you mean healthy? Just because you're eating green beans out of a can, you consider that healthy because it's just out of a can instead of being, at a hole or naturally picked. Or I eat pineapples from a can, so I'm healthy. I eat applesauce from a can, so I'm healthy. So let's be for real. Let's stop using that as an excuse. My child was never unvaccinated and I ate pretty healthy. Health comes from a different point of view. You understand? So let's be grateful that this is headline, that we should definitely look into these studies and these vaccines. And don't give me the BS that there's been studies against that and vaccine don't cause autism. Okay, who's paying for these studies? The pharmaceutical companies. So don't you think that everything is going to be in favor of them? Because they don't take, for example, they don't take 100,000 kids. They test these things on animals. They test it on animals. And they take 2 or 3 rats, 4 rats. Is that the world population? Can you figure these things on these type of studies? No. When you take a group of people, at least of 1 million people, and you pull out a study and you follow them for the next 2 to 5, 6, 7 years, whatever it is, then you could pull out and say that's the study. But don't sit here and be like, hey, vaccine is 100% safe. Okay, so how come you can't sue them? How come you can't sue the manufacturer? Whoever's creating these vaccines, how come you can't sue the pharmaceutical companies? You can't sue Moderna directly. You can't sue a lot of these folks. What is it, Pfizer? You can't sue them. So let's do better. Let's listen to the message. Do your own research. And stop being a buffoon, an idiot, you being pregnant and popping 5 Tylenol just to prove a point on a trend, you dumbass. Any female that is out there with a belly popping medication just to prove a point, you should slap yourself in the face. And for you doing that, I really hope that when your child is born, nothing happens. Nothing is wrong with them. I hope they don't develop anything. But they should definitely remove that child away from you, just for you to prove a stupid point. When Tylenol themselves have said, we don't recommend this for pregnant women. It's been said. So if your doctors recommend it, it's because it's your doctor. It's a win-win for them.